We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Izuku, he don't live in reality. Shake back, all become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Had Monsuno. This is part 5. And the last part, it was right after that of the UA entrance exam, where Izuku basically met up with that of May, and where she basically wanted to show off that of her new support gear babies after all. Not only that, she even reassures Izuku that he'll make it into UA after all, making him feel a lot more confident in himself again. However, this doesn't last long until that of John Ace alongside that of his Lieutenant Trey, and their forces show up, this being S.T.O.R.M. Not only that, they even have Monsunos of their own, as they are black, yellow, and gold with blades than that of, Cortec Monsunos, who are more blue and focuses more on minerals after all. But as the battle between that of Izuku and S.T.O.R.M. rages on, surprisingly, it was S.T.O.R.M. that was getting the edge with that of John Ace bringing out his Monsuno, Black Bullet. It was only when that of Mount Lady showing up during that of a late night patrol around Dagobah Beach that things began to start to change a little bit. Even to the point that both May and Mount Lady took that of the special Monsunos that were in Izuku's bag and launched them out themselves, turning the tide of battle into their favor. And now things are about to change. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? A few months have now passed, around that of, at least that of 2 months, as currently Izuku not wearing that of his Aldera Junior High uniform anymore, as he's now graduated from Aldera and is finally going to UA, his dream school and the most prestigious hero school in all of Japan, with Izuku getting on that of his red boots, with him basically tapping on that of the soles of the boots to try and get him on, as his mother Inko basically asking him tons of questions, making sure that he has everything, that he made sure to get that he gets his schedule ready, and that he didn't just fill his backpack with action figures for his teachers to sign, with Izuku basically flustered, as then it was just that of Inko basically messing with him to have that a little bit of fun. Within soon, Izuku could realize her attempt, saying, "I'll be fine, Mom. Thank you." But then saying, "Still, I'm just so happy for you, my precious baby. You're finally able to make it into UA." Within, Izuku couldn't help but smile, saying, "Yeah, I guess I am." With soon, she's saying, "Your father would be so proud of you." Within, Izuku saying, "Yeah, I guess he would be." As then, Izuku begins to reminisce about if it wasn't for his father, if it wasn't for Hisashi giving him luck and his other Monsuno, he never would be able to achieve his dream. That Izuku soon steps out saying, "I'll be back soon, Mom. And I promise I'll be safe." As he gives that of his mother one last, cheerful and loving smile before going out that of his apartment. But then heading down that of the stairway before waiting on that at the train station and getting on the train heading to UA. Within soon, as Izuku basically goes through his phone, and he still can't help but remember everything that has basically happened, that everything that he's come this far, and all the crazy twists and turns that happened last year, and what happened a few months back. Speaking of what a few months back, as Izuku begins to reminisce about what happened with Deku at Beach, right after finishing that of classes and meeting up with that of May, turns out Mount Lady, or rather her civilian name, Takayama, wearing that of casual clothes from that of a light brown sweater and blue jacket, and also that of long blue pants with heels, as instead of her hair being in the usual, long drills, it's more just, long straight hair now. Not within, she's saying, "So, you're Izuku Midoriya." Within, and you're Mei Hatsune. As the two teenagers, with Izuku feeling a little bit nervous talking to that of a, already starting to be pretty popular pro heroine, and Mei not really caring too much and is mainly just here because she just wants to know more about that of, Izuku's Monsuno after all, with even the main reason why Yu is here as well, as they soon get that of some drinks to at least try and have Izuku explain things, as it's going to be quite long. Given that it's going to be pretty long, Hatsune even brought one of her support babies that she's working on. Luckily, it did not explode while he was explaining things. With then, finally done explaining, with soon Yu saying, "So let me get this straight," as having her hands basically to that of her mouth, having her hands together in that of her mouth, her elbows on that of the table, which is causing that of her, assets to basically smush on the table, forcing Izuku to blush a bit. As then you continue saying, "The thing, you don't really have a quirk. Well, you do have a quirk, but it's tied to these creatures called Monsunos, or rather, the very thing that made the Monsunos being Monsuno essence. That's your dad created Monsuno, but not just him, but it seems that this organization known as S.T.O.R.M, which is basically a military organization that answers not to any other government around the world, but just to the United Nations Security Bureau. Am I getting this correctly?" Within, Izuku saying, yeah, basically. Within, soon, she pulls out that of the cord that she used last night. Within saying, "And this is basically a Monsuno inside this little thing." Saying, "Yeah, it's a Monsuno cord." Within saying, yeah, you told me that. But seriously, how the hell does not anybody know about this? Outside just massive government. Why doesn't the pros know about this? Shouldn't we? Within, soon, May speaking up saying, "Not surprising. I mean, take it for example. A military organization being able to use Monsunos to do what they want? Think about it. Monsunos have enough power to basically level a whole city block. A top 10 pro basically has the same quite a power to do so. A Monsuno can basically do that easily. You've seen the crazy stuff that you saw last night after all." Within, Izuku saying, "And you're taking this lightly, May?" Saying, "I mean, I've been with you for at least out of a good 5 months, Midoriya. Took me a while to finally get your name down, I won't lie." As Hatsune basically says this shamelessly, without even batting an eye, with Izuku getting up and say, "Yeah, don't remind me." Well, then, she soon puts her support gear that she's finally done tinkering with down, saying, "But all the same, I'm still interested in anything. I want to know more about this Monsuno and how much that they can be improved with support gear." Within, Izuku saying, Hatsune, saying, "Oh, don't give me that look. Think about it. Monsunos are quite dangerous. And seeing that you're able to handle it pretty easily, you plan on using her to help. What would happen if villains started getting their hands on Monsuno, for example? Within, both you and Izuku's eyes widening in pretty much shock. Within, Mei saying, exactly. I want to find a way to basically improve Monsuno and help you out in case that S.T.O.R.M or any other guys with Monsuno basically gets in your way. Within, Izuku saying, you would do that for me? Saying, well, you're my friend. My only friend, I have to say. Within, Izuku couldn't help but blush, and tears began to leak out of his eyes. Before then saying, bless, you're my meal ticket. If I can find a way to basically create that as support gear for that of Monsuno, who knows if I can do the same thing with that of humans too? Just imagine it would be amazing, don't you think? Within, soon, Izuku basically slumped down saying, always an interior motive. Within, saying, but still, I want to try and help out whenever I can. Besides, within, pulling out that of the Monsuno core she also used, saying, I want to continue using this. It's so cool. Heck, I even gave this baby that of a name already. Within, soon, Izuku saying, wait, you already gave it a name? But it already does have a name, saying, oh, really? Whatever the name is, I'll probably use it over this, but still, I'll probably reference it myself as within, saying, baby number 52. Within, Izuku couldn't help but deadpan, saying, that's not its name. It's Charger. That's what Dad calls it. Saying, Charger? Boring, but I'll go with it. Out of respect. Just accepts it without remorse. Within, soon, Yu basically places the core onto the table, saying, look, part of me doesn't even want anything to do with this. I want to just focus on my job, on basically making it high in the top 10 rankings, having a lot more fame and glory. Nothing more, nothing less. But within, thinking back with S.T.O.R.M, saying, if we're basically going to have freaking parahuman military types that are so damn shady that they're free to basically do whatever the hell they want, and pro heroes are basically just going to be used as either pawns or in the crosshairs, like hell I'm basically just going to stay out of this. So I need the name of what the heck this thing is. Within, Izuku saying, if I recall, Dad calls that one Quick Force. Saying, Quick Force? That seems way too boyish. You think I could? But then Izuku giving her a deadpan look, saying, fine, I'll keep the name Quick Force. But if I get my own Monsunos, I'm definitely giving it my own name instead. Within, Izuku saying, fair enough. Within, thinking, Dad is already planning on giving me that of other more Monsunos, given that what I told him about last night. He was a little worried that I'm trusting you guys with that of Quick Force and Charger, but I told him he has nothing to worry about, and that you guys are great controllers for them. Within, soon both you and Mei look at each other. Within, soon, Mei could say, well, you have great taste, Midoriya. Within, you saying, well, given that I plan on being a top ranking pro, I guess it only makes natural that you trust somebody like me. Within, Izuku saying, I'm mainly just trusting you guys because you're the only people that will basically not rat me out to the cops. Which in turn rat me out to the pros, and which in turn rats me out to the S.T.O.R.M. So, within, soon, both of them saying, that's a low blow. But then Izuku couldn't help but giggle to himself, saying, sorry, I just couldn't help it. But then, both of them couldn't help but smile too, as Izuku saying, well, I'm guessing this makes us a team at least, if that's okay. But then, Mei saying, heck yeah, let's do this. I am so excited. The more data I have on Monsuno, the more I can basically make Monsuno base support babies. Within, you saying, I'll help out, but my duty as a pro always comes first. If I'm not too busy, or if it's a real life-threatening emergency, then I'll help out. If you just want me to spend time with you or hang out, then not a chance in hell, kid. But then Izuku saying, it's Midoriya, saying, right, sorry, Midoriya. But other than those two things, then, yeah, I guess we are a team. With then, Izuku saying, that's great. With then saying, then we're going to need at least that of a name. With then saying, ooh, I got it. The Amazing Hatsune Squad. With then, both of them look at that of the pink-haired, dreadlock, goggle-wearing girl. With then soon saying, too much? With then saying, yes. As you was about to make a name. With then Izuku saying, how about Team Cortec? With then saying, you didn't give me a chance. With then Izuku deadpan looking at her saying, you may be an amazing pro, but you are kind of vain. With then saying, oh, screw you, Midoriya. With then thinking, but Cortec does sound pretty nice. Where did you get it from? With then Izuku saying, it's my dad's old company. Plus, I feel like these Monsuno cores should be called Cortec cores. So I figured Team Cortec just fits all too well. With then soon May saying, I like it. It's quick and to the point. With then saying, fine, we're Team Cortec. Well then, that takes care of all that. With soon Izuku saying, just let you guys know, we're in this together. So we can't don't worry, I'm not going to abandon you two. Even if it's for my career, I'm a pro. It's my duty to help those in need. Even if I am in it for vain reasons, it's my duty as a pro to always be there for those in need. After that, she pulls something out of her bag as it being a piece of paper, with then saying, here's my number. You think you guys could give me your numbers too, so we can at least keep in contact? Or better yet, why not just make that of a chat system after all? And you guys have chat app? With then soon Izuku saying, not really. No. What's a chat app? As you hears this from both of them, as she mentally thinks, saying, oh my god, I'm now partnered up with that of two socially awkward weirdos. This is definitely my life now. However, little did you know, this ragtag team of misfits would end up being a new family to her. After that, months have now gone past since the creation of Team Cortec. Hasashi ended up giving Izuku that of task and job to take care of, to gather that of Monsuno essence, and also to gain that of Monsuno cores that are being sold on that of the black market. As they follow these leads, they were able to find out that a few villains are actually selling off that of bootleg Monsuno cores, and some. However, they still haven't found that of the supplier or the creator of these cores. All they know is that when they try putting that of Monsuno essence into them, instead of that of the blue of Cortec, they're actually red. Or not even that of black and yellow, like that of S.T.O.R.M. Which makes things more curious, wondering what kind of Monsunos are these? Little did Izuku know that would basically put him more and more on a radar of a certain scientist from his past. Now, also, speaking of being on somebody's radar, let's bring up the fact that Izuku and Bakugo both made into UA. And yeah, Bakugo did not like that one bit. He thought that Izuku basically cheated to get into UA, that he bribed somebody to get into the school, as it basically ruined his perfect origin story as Bakugo was about to explode Izuku's face. However, without warning, Izuku basically spun out one of his Monsuno cores onto the side behind that of the school as the bright blue light basically emerges, with Bakugo basically looking back before then getting slapped in the face by a tail. Within soon, Izuku subconsciously realized what he did, and as Bakugo basically groans on the floor, basically feeling that of a massive red mark on that of his face, as then soon Izuku basically gets on that of his Monsuno as it being Nightstone, within him basically getting out of there before anybody noticed. And given that Nightstone's pretty damn fast on land, it kind of makes sense a little bit. Within soon, Bakugo say, what the hell? What the actual hell just happened? What's the hell's going on here? Damn it! with as Bakugo basically screams from the depths of his soul. As for Izuku, he's basically riding Nightstone on through that of the streets, heading back to his place. As Nightstone, instead of taking the usual route, he basically jumps over a few houses and over that of overpasses as well, making it there a lot more faster than he would have in canon if he just walked there. But then Izuku's saying, I didn't even mean to spin out Nightstone. Oh man, what would happen if I spun out Lock or even Deep Six? Oh boy. Oh, God, they would have I don't know what they would do. They would literally try and kill Kachan. I can't have that. As much as I know the guy's a pain in the ass, I still believe he can be a great hero. I don't want to ruin that for him. All I can do is just prove to him that I can be a hero, no matter what. As Izuku has that of a look of determination, as he's finally arriving back at his apartment complex. And after that, the rest is history. As now, Izuku done reminiscing, as now the train has finally arrived at his stop. Within, soon leaving the train and going down that of the street before making a turn, seeing that of a large, and around the sides being that of multiple walls that are basically at least that of 20 feet tall. As entering through these gates, within soon seeing a pathway heading up to that of a hill, and on top of that hill being that of UA High, the Hero School, or in other words, the United Alliance High School, the school where that of the best pros came from All Might to Endeavor to Best Genius and to Edgeshot. Because of producing of that of top 10 pros, everybody always applies for UA, with then Izuku wondering, and Hatsune's here, so I should be, hopefully, I hope she has a good day too. For me, I'm looking forward to this. However, within soon, Izuku begins thinking about his classmates as he's trying to find his way to 1A. As he's thinking about hoping that Bakugo isn't in there, alongside that of the tall blue-haired boy with glasses from before. Within soon, Izuku thinking, if the world doesn't hate me that much, maybe I might actually have that of a good time. As Izuku is trying to make himself feel even more positive, as he stands in front of that of the large 1A door, within thinking, oh boy, this might be for those with mutant-type quirks that make them unnaturally tall, which makes a lot of sense. Hopefully it's not. Within, gripping onto that of the handle, realizing, it's possibly made from that of light metal material. That's good. As Izuku basically opens up the door, as he's hoping for that of being in that of a great classroom of friends and future heroes in training. Little did he know, his hopes were basically dashed right off the bat. As in front, being that of a argument between that of two people he was really hoping wasn't in his class. As a boy saying, such ruly behavior. Put your feet down this instant. You're besmirching that at the very desk that our very senpais used to sit in. Do you not have any shame? As then, seriously? You got a lot of nerve basically telling me what to do. I mean, seriously, did your old school give you a stick up your ass or were you born with it? What then? Izuku saying, the world really does hate me, doesn't it? As Izuku realized that he's in the same classroom as Bakugo and also the tall blue-haired boy from before, Tenya Ida. Within, soon, the boy known as Ida could help but sigh and have that of a look of, defeat, but also acceptance, saying, look, I believe we have gone off that on the wrong foot here. Please allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Tenya Ida from S.T.O.R.M Private School Academy, and before he could finish, Bakugo cutting him off with that of a pharaoh grin, saying, S.T.O.R.M, eh? Huh. Since you went to that basically private school, I bet you think that you're better than me. I'm going to be looking forward to ripping you a new one. Feeling appalled and shocked at that of Bakugo's words, saying, you would threaten me? Your classmate? Are you sure you're in the right class? As Izuku was about to comment, Within soon, both that of Ida and also Bakugo noticed Izuku. Within Izuku saying, "Why do I do things?" As Bakugo couldn't help but scowl at that of Izuku. Within Ida basically walking over to Izuku, in that of a stiff motion and manner. Within soon Izuku saying, within Ida saying, "My name is Tenya Ida. I'm from." Within Izuku saying, "Yeah, I heard. You don't need to repeat yourself." Within soon saying, very well. Within saying, "You got the highest points in entrance exam due to rescue points. You must have known about the rescue points from the very beginning. And because of that, I am truly sorry. And allow me to apologize for my unruly behavior during the entrance exam." As Ida bows his head towards Izuku, with the Izuku basically flustered and embarrassed, saying, "What? No, please don't raise your head. It's nothing like that. I didn't know about the rescue points either. I just did it just in case I saw those in trouble." Within soon, a few people in Class 1A remembering Izuku on top of Nightstone, as it being that of a girl that's clothes are basically floating, as she's basically invisible. The boy with that of blonde hair and constantly smiling, with that of a sparkle floating in his hair and above him, as he couldn't help but glare, as he's still smiling, but he couldn't help but glare at that of Izuku at the same time. And then another boy with that of that looks like he has that of multiple arms and wearing that of a mask and gray hair, and with that of gray hair, and seems to be the tallest in the classroom as well, as he couldn't help but nod his head, as these three were basically in the same zone as Izuku actually. And unlike that of the blonde-haired boy, he basically helped all three of them. With soon, Bakugo couldn't help but grit his teeth in that of anger and annoyance, remembering that of his entrance letter, that he only got that of second place, and the person that got first place was Izuku. As then he mentally thinking, "I am going to bury that damn nerd. How dare he get a higher score than me?" With then soon somebody coming through that of the door, as then saying, "Oh, you're that beast boy." With then Izuku basically jumps up in that of surprise and shock, as it being that of the girl that he saved during the entrance exam, with the brunette hair and the eternal blush on her cheeks, as she enthusiastically is excited seeing Izuku. Within Izuku remembering from that of his letter, and also from Mei explaining that the fact that, she ended up give away her points to that of Izuku, which makes Izuku a little bit, shy and nervous. The fact that somebody tried to offer their points to him out of gratitude, which makes him even more emotional and also somewhat embarrassed at the same time. With Izuku's face basically going somewhat red, not entirely red, as it used to, since being around Mei from time to time has helped him out with his confidence a little bit. Not a lot, but at least a little. And with you, less said about that, the better. She introduced herself saying, "I'm Ochako Uraka. It's so good to finally meet you. I gotta say, your quirk to bring out that of quirked animals was so cool. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised that they're even able to show up at all." Within Izuku saying, "You see, it's pretty complicated actually," as Izuku tries to explain himself, but still stuttering a bit, "because they're tied to my quirk." And within soon, Izuku began to think, "Wait, what's going on?" As he can sense that of Monsuno essence, as he thinks that, is it Mei? As she has that of Charger on her, of course, but he's able to sense another Monsuno nearby. Within soon, somebody speaking up saying, "If you're only here to make friends, then you should pack up your things and leave now." Within soon, both Ida and alongside that of Ochako and Izuku notice somebody at the door. Within Izuku noticing that the Monsuno signature is coming from the man in the sleeping bag, as it being that man Shota Aizawa from that of the entrance exam that somehow knows about Monsuno and Locke. Within soon, he pulls out his arm from his sleeping bag. Before then, he begins to drink that of a pouch drink. Within, putting his arm back in the sleeping bag with it. Within soon, Ida saying, Excuse me, sir. Who are within soon? Cutting off Ida again as the man basically saying, 5 minutes. It took you all 5 minutes for you all to finally shut up and kept me be quiet. You're working to be pros, so time is precious after all. As then he unzips himself from the sleeping bag and then gets out of it, showing that of his, well, all black attire that makes him look like that of a hobo after all. As his messy long hair and his 5 o'clock and his unkempt 5 o'clock shadow beard doesn't help him. Within saying, "Hello, my name is Shota Aizawa. I will be your homeroom teacher for this entire year." Now then, within soon pulling out that of a gym uniform as being a white, blue, and red gym uniform with that of U and A on that of the front. Within saying, "You'll see in your desk that you'll have these uniforms in them. Go to the changing room and put these on. I expect you all to show up in that of 20 minutes. Don't be late." As it makes everybody else confused within saying, "I said 20 minutes, so you better be going now." That time, the timer just started. Within soon, everybody bolts out of their desk, grabbing their uniforms and heading out. With Izuku wondering, who the heck is this guy? And not only that, he has a Monsuno on him. I just don't know what kind. As Izuku basically runs off as well. As then, Shota couldn't help but say, "This batch better be good. Especially your kid, Hasashi." As then, while mentally saying this, he pulls from one of his pouches, he pulls out that of a Monsuno core, as it being a Cortec core, for putting it away and heading outside of the classroom. About that of 15 minutes later, everybody from Class 1A is now lined up together in that of gym uniforms. Within, as I was saying, good, you all arrived on time. Time is precious, and you have to think rationally when you have this time. For basically the entirety of the day, I'm going to be testing you all in that of a Quirk apprehension test. You normally take these during that of junior high school. However, unlike that in junior high, you're basically limited and you can't use your quirks during the test. I always think this is irrational. The government basically wants to continue to believe that we're all equal, but in fact, we are not. And it's holding back those with the true potential to succeed after all. Within, soon, Ochako raising up her hand saying, sir, may I ask why are we even doing out here with this test? Aren't we going to miss orientation? Within, soon, as I was saying, like I told you, time is precious, and you don't have time to be wasting on that of pointless ceremonies such as that. You'll be here for almost that of 3 years. 1 year if I had anything to say about it. Within, hearing that tone of ominous from that of Aizawa's voice, a few of them, especially Izuku, could help but feel like, what do you mean by that? Within, Aizawa saying, Midoriya. Within, Izuku getting out of his thoughts as he basically stutters up for a bit, saying, yes, sir. Within, soon, narrowing his eyes a bit, before saying, tell me, what was your farthest throw in that of junior high school? Within, Izuku's saying, it was around 52 meters. Within, realizing, I see. As he sighs, saying, all right then. You got the highest point in the entrance exam, especially being able to beat All Might's record, which is surprising, to be honest. Within, soon, everybody couldn't help but be shocked in hearing this. With a few students couldn't help but say, he broke All Might's record? No way, that's insane. As for Bakugo, he couldn't help but grit his teeth and growling even more than before, hearing that he broke that of their idol's record after all. Within him tossing a ball at Izuku as he fumbles for a little bit before finally catching it, saying, I want you to throw this ball in the center of that circle, and I want you to use your quirk doing so. If you basically move out of that circle at any moment, then you are disqualified. Just make sure that you use your quirk inside of it to throw it. Saying, yes, sir. Within, soon, Izuku saying, to throw this ball and use my quirk. Within, thinking, if I need to just spin out that of either Lock or maybe even Nightstone. However, Within, soon, thinking, I think he said to stay in the circle and just to throw it any way I see fit. Teach, you just found me a loophole. Within, soon, as Izuku pulls out one of his Monsuno cores. Within, soon, Bakugo speaking of saying that I don't know what the hell the damn brat is thinking. He doesn't have a damn quirk to even use in this damn exam. Within, soon, Ida saying, but he does have a quirk though. Did you not know what he did during the entrance exam? Saying, all I know is that the damn nerd cheated somehow. Basically bribed his way in this school. No way in hell he would. Within, soon, turning around as he looks straight at that of Bakugo, before then bringing Monsuno core to his face, before bringing it back, and then bringing his arm forward, saying, Evo, launch! As then he spins out that of Evo, as it heads straight for that of Bakugo, saying, what the hell is... As Itsu basically taps on his foot, before then the bright light at that of everybody catches everybody off guard, with even, however, besides that of Aizawa, within realizing, damn cheeky ass brat, he knew that he couldn't unleash his Monsuno without it coming in contact with something after all, when he spins it out. So he had to use somebody close by. I would basically saying for putting his fellow students in danger, but knowing a Monsuno once they come out, they're not too dangerous in that of their energy-based form. It's only when they fully materialize that I would have been worried. But then again, as then Evo basically coming out of the core, as soon flying up high up into the air, as that of the Condor four-winged avian Monsuno finally unleashes that of a large squeal. Within, soon, everybody is completely and utterly shocked in seeing this, with even that of Bakugo completely and utterly dumbfounded, saying, what the actual hell is that thing? Within, soon, the core basically comes back into that of Izuku's hand, within saying, Evo! Within, looking down at his controller, as Evo flies down, before then saying, could you fly this far away from that of UA? Within, soon, Evo basically obliging that of his controller, as Evo brings up one of his talons and grabs onto that of the ball, before then using two of his wings to get off the ground, before using the remaining wings to fly far away from that of UA, as he creates that of a small shockwave that almost like that of a sonic boom, as he first went that of Mach 1, before then going Mach 2, flying higher, he goes Mach 3, as 3 sonic booms basically reach that of UA, with everybody completely and utterly shocked, with even that of Aizawa couldn't help but be completely caught off guard, saying, this kid, really something else. Instead of going with either Lock for Power or that Monsuno that he used during the other entrance exam, that he went with one with that of pure and raw speed alone for the distance throw. Now that's using your head instead of just your mind. This test isn't just for power, it's to show ingenuity as well. Maybe writing him off I was too early to write him off after all. Within, soon seeing that of the total, he couldn't help but say, not bad. As he shows that of the meter being that of 5,000 kilometers, with everybody completely dumbfounded and shocked seeing the amount, with even that of Bakugo completely and utterly shocked and angry, and that of pure and utter dumbfoundedness, as his hands were basically shaking. However, you could even see that of small explosions basically popping in his palms. Within, soon, Aizawa saying, nice work. This is exactly what I want to see with all of you able to do. Give it everything you got and show what you're truly capable of. It's time for you to go beyond plus ultra style. Within, soon, everybody getting excited. Within, soon, as Aizawa basically telling Izuku to call back that of Evo, with Izuku nodding his head as he calls back Evo using his controller, but then finally hearing what that of a pink-haired and pink-skinned girl talking with that of a boy with that of spiky red hair and crimson red eyes, with that of another boy with that of blonde hair and somewhat of a black streak in his hair that looks like that of a lightning bolt, basically saying, "Oh man, we get to use our quirks however we want. This is going to be fun as hell." Saying, "Man, this is the kind of stuff you expect from the hero course." Within soon, Aizawa couldn't help but have that of a tick mark on his face. Within saying, "Oh, so you all think this is just going to be all fun and games?" Well then, as when he soon says this, that's when Evo finally shows up as another shockwave boom basically goes off. Within, Izuku saying, "Good work out there, Evo. Return." Bringing that of his core back to that of in front of Evo, as the bright blue light energy goes back into that of the Monsuno core. Within, the recoil hits Izuku back again, as he's instead of feeling like getting hit by that of a force of a shotgun or that of holding that of a firearm in general, he's able to hold his own, not even budging like he normally did. Within, Bakugo not even hearing what that of Aizawa was saying, as he continues going, "I told you, you have 3 years to improve yourself, or only 1 year. And when I meant by 1 year, I meant it. Because if any of you who gets that of last place through the overall test of this quirk apprehension test, the last place loser will be expelled." Within, soon hearing that, everybody was completely and utterly shocked, besides only that of a select few who didn't even seem fazed. And Bakugo, he was still basically growling in anger towards Izuku. Within, everybody else began to freak out, as then Ochako speaks up saying, "But that's not fair. We all worked so hard to get into UA. You can't expel us on the very first day." Within, soon, Aizawa getting annoyed at this, within saying, "Oh, then tell me, are that of natural disasters fair, power-hungry villains fair, a system that continues to put down those who have potential over flashy and powerful quirks fair?" Within, soon, everybody begins to feel the spite coming off of that of Aizawa's tone. Even Bakugo began to feel that of the spite, almost close to that of bloodlust in a way, causing him to basically, get out of his attempt to basically attack Izuku, as he's now listening to Aizawa, but then saying, "The world is unfair. It's your job as pros to combat that unfairness. That's why we at UA go beyond our limits, just like I said, plus ultra style. So prove to me that you all deserve to be here. Got it?" Within, soon, everybody feeling nervous, but more determined to make sure that they stay here at UA. Currently, in that of Class 1F, of that of the freshly new support students, as then soon the doors to that of the support studio begin to explode. Within, soon coming out of the door, being that of a familiar pink net that we all know and love. Within saying, "I guess wiring that one way was going to cause it to explode. Now I gotta put that in the vault." Within, soon a few other students saying, "That chick is crazy. She tried to blow us all up. Seriously, how did a girl like that literally get into the support course? Her tech must be faulty as hell." Within, soon that of a shirtless man with that of blue jeans and that of large yellow gloves, and wearing that of a yellow scooper helmet, with his eyes basically being the only thing you could see, and also that of his orange brunette hair in the back, as he's also coughing a bit saying, "I knew she had talent, but I didn't think that she basically was against that of safety procedures. She basically just goes gung-ho into the situation. Why are the talented ones always the crazy ones at the same time?" With back with May saying, "I still need to figure out a way to basically channel Monsuno essence out of my support gear. Dr. Midoriya did say that there was a way to do so, but it would take time. However, time is not what I'm looking for. When it comes to making babies, I'll do whatever I can to make them work. Team Cortec will be unstoppable, just you watch." Back with that of Class 1A, everything basically goes somewhat similar. The only difference is that, Izuku doesn't get behind in last place due to him not being able to understand or control his quirk. Due to his quirk tied being that of Monsuno essence, he can now he understands his Monsuno better than anything. For example, for that of 50-meter dash, he uses that of Nightstone and basically blitzes past Bakugo without even batting an eye. However, Bakugo did try to attack Izuku, as he basically remembered when Nightstone basically bitch slapped him with his tail when he threatened his, controller after all. After this, he basically used Nightstone through half of the exams actually. The long jump, the sidestep, the stamina run, everything went pretty smoothly. Hell, the only ones that didn't, need that of a Monsuno was basically that of the grip strength test because, no point of basically creating that, having a Monsuno literally destroy that of the gripper after all. So Izuku basically did it himself, which he's basically average strength to be honest. Since he doesn't have the same muscular as he did before in canon after all, because his quirk wouldn't need to rely too much on that of his muscles or body. The other tasks from that of, pull-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, and toe touches, still all the same. Other than that, Izuku did a lot better than he would have in canon. And let's just say it pissed off Bakugo even more than it should have. When they finally got to that of the ball throw, when he finally got his chance, he wanted to basically show off Izuku that he would never be able to beat him. However, still the same score as he did in canon. 705.2 meters. So yeah, basically the same score as he did have. Does he really thinks he's going to beat a kilometer from a bird that's able to basically break the sound barrier? I don't think so. And after that, it just caught, and with a few comments from that of Kaminari, Mina, Sero, and even that of Tokoyami. Let's just say the one thing that he basically believed that he could basically attack being Izuku again. However, in that of a split second, Aizawa basically grab onto that of Bakugo using his capture scarf, even canceling out his quirk at the same time. Bakugo was basically growling in hatred, and even that of wondering why he can't use his quirk to blow up the scarf, because Izuku found out that their homeroom teacher is the underground pro Eraserhead, even telling Bakugo that Midoriya reached the level that he is now because he used his quirk in each of the exams. Even though his quirk isn't useful for everything, it's still useful. Tell him to get over basically being behind after all. He's talented. Don't let basically not being at the top of each and every one of the exams bug him. However, little did he know, those words were basically on deaf ears. However, Bakugo, realizing that he's not going to be able to get away with basically attacking Izuku like he used to at Aldera, he finally just stops and possibly waits when they finally start doing hero training. With Bakugo no longer struggling and goes back in line with everybody else, within soon, Aizawa brings out that of eye drops, saying, hate using my quirk when it's unnecessary. Gives me a serious case of dry eye. Within, everybody get up and say, that is one lame-ass drawback. Izuku mentally saying, that's an understandable drawback. Within, all of the tests finally done, with now Aizawa just saying, I'm not even going to be showing you your scores individually through each test, but instead, I'll basically show you what you all placed overall in every test, all together. Within, showing that of a holographic screen, pressing a button, as then everybody's placement. From first place being that of Momo Yaoyorozu, second place being Izuku Midoriya, third place Shoto Todoroki, fourth place Katsuki Bakugo, fifth place Tenya Ida, and so on and so forth through the placements during that of the Quirk Apprehension test. The only difference is that Izuku isn't in last place, but instead second place. Within, Izuku couldn't help but smile in that of excitement, realizing, I did it. So my Monsuno do count. Thank God. as he basically placing his hands on all of his Monsunos, as he can actually feel the gratitude and love from all of them towards him, and he towards them as well. However, last place being that of Minoru Mineta. Within, everybody is completely, as they assume, wondering who is Mineta, as seeing that of the small kid with that of the purple balls, as he looks, he has that of a frustrated look on his face, before then tears begin to come out saying, "It's so not fair, seriously not fair, and I didn't even get a chance to begin my dream." Within, soon, before Mineta could actually say it out, within, Aizawa was saying, "Oh, right. Just to tell you, I lied. Nobody's being expelled," as he gives off that of a cheeky smile, toothy smile. Within, everybody completely and utterly shocked and surprised. Within, soon, a girl with that of raven hair and a spiky ponytail, as his being Momo Yaoyorozu, saying, "Of course he was lying. It was nothing but a rouge for us all to basically give it our all, to be honest. Did you all expect him to expel us? Honestly, I should have probably spat it out, actually." Within, a few students basically calling her out, saying that she should have, instead of basically making us feel worried. Within, soon, as I was saying, it was a deceptive ruse to basically have you give it your all. I didn't say that you would be expelled, you will most likely just basically half-ass everything. Like I told you here at UA, no half-assing. You give it your all. Give it 110% no matter what. However, if you have to hold back your quirk because how dangerous it could be, you need to learn on how to ways to control it while still giving it your all in different ways. Work smarter, not harder. As for Izuku, those words, he couldn't help but understand them all too well, as he can actually relate to them. As with his Monsuno, he needs to make sure not to hurt those who can't handle a attack from a Monsuno after all. That he needs to work more smarter than harder. Not to mention, he still hasn't even scratched the surface of his quirk outside of being able to understand, connect, and basically sense Monsuno essence. As there's still parts of it that he needs to understand. But he's at UA. Maybe he'll actually find a chance to understand what his quirk is truly capable of. Within, soon Aizawa was speaking up once more, saying, "Now then, since the first day has now come to an end, you're free to leave the school or stay and roam around however you see fit. Starting tomorrow, classes will be fully starting. Just make sure you grab a syllabus before you leave." Within, soon hearing that, everybody begins to leave. Before then, Aizawa was saying, "Oh, right, Midoriya." Within, Izuku basically froze up for a bit, saying, yes, sir?" Saying, when you grab your syllabus and change, make sure to meet me at that of classroom 220. It's an empty classroom. I have something to speak to you privately, and please don't be late." Saying, yes, sir." After saying his piece, Aizawa soon walks off. But then Izuku saying, "What did I do?" As Aizawa basically walks off. But then soon, seeing that of a familiar, blonde-haired, muscular individual that we all know and love, and some of us love to hate and rag on for being a bad teacher. And that being All Might. Within, All Might saying, "I am here to see and be shocked that you didn't expel your entire class, Aizawa." Within, soon, Aizawa basically stepping without even looking at that of All Might, saying, "All Might, I'm shocked that you're even here. Shouldn't you be in the middle of an interview or a talk show right about now?" Within, All Might couldn't help but say, "Haha, still not a fan of me, it seems. It's fair. But, still, I'm surprised that you didn't expel your entire class. You normally do. And normally you do re-enroll them right after expelling them. What changed?" Within, Aizawa couldn't help but look at that of All Might, saying, "They have potential. Simple as that." Within, soon after walking off, before then saying, "I also noticed that you have taken quite a liking to young Midoriya." Within, soon stepping again, saying, "You know something about his quirk, don't you? Could you? I'm gonna make this clear, All Might. Don't, and I mean don't, get involved into things that you know nothing about. You may be the #1 pro, But there are some things in this world that not even you can understand. I've only taken an interest in Midoriya is because he has potential. Simple as that. Nothing more and nothing less. Get that through your skull. As Aizawa walks away, within All Might still having a smile, but internally thinking, there's something that he's not telling me. And not just him, President Mike is the same way. Right after basically making the letter for Midoriya, it almost seems like the two of them were trying to figure out something. Or contacting somebody. And it has to do with young Midoriya. If I last recall, young Midoriya said he's completely quirkless. The last time I met him on that other roof, I still feel get bad about what I tried to do, what I said to that young man. It had to be done, but now he has a quirk. Not just to mention a quirk that seems to be connected to quirk animals. Could he be involved? No, I crushed his skull thoroughly when I last fought him. It's been 6 years. No way he could have survived. Within, All Might shaking his head saying, I need to keep an eye on young Midoriya and to make sure that he isn't connected to that man. As All Might also walks off. As now, this year at UA is going to be one hell of an interesting one. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Let's read them. So, how did you guys like this part? So we got basically the creation of Team Cortec with its first original 3 members being Izuku, Mei, and Yu, aka Mount Lady. As the other members will also be making appearances and will be joining sooner than later. I don't plan on making this team basically just the 3 of them like all the way through season 1. Expect the newest member to join probably after the events of season 1 and the beginning of season 2. So yeah, as for the first day, everything was basically the same. The only difference was Izuku's Monsuno, basically making him a lot more capable and relying a lot more on his Monsuno, but also relying on himself as well. Personally, after rewatching season 1 of MHA, I kind of realized, yeah, Aizawa did basically rig the test for Izuku to basically fail. Now that is a known fact. I've realized that. Because again, a few people in Class 1A was not physically more fit than that of Izuku, especially given the training he went through. But at least this Aizawa isn't as much biased, mainly because I made it that way. So yeah, any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date my videos on below the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, other channel, side channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care. Shiro Kitsune, you know what to do, my beloved fox.
Hi, everyone. This is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!